My name is Nathan Kilali, and I'm from Papua New Guinea. So last year I wrote a short story about my grandfather. It's more like a biography. So I wrote it just to keep his memory alive, just to tell his story and all that. But when I was called up by Hannah, um, she just mentioned that I could send my story over to her. So that was how my story got to First Nation Writers Festival. And yeah, I'm still working on publishing the story about my grandfather. And then after that, I think I'll be able to write some more. But basically, because I'm trying to be a lawyer and I'm in law school, I don't have that spare time to basically explore my hobby about writing. So I'm still waiting on trying to publish my grandfather's story first, and then I'll see where I go from there. To people of my age, like indigenous writers, will like me, I guess you'll have to just start writing. I think Anna and the team here at First Nation Writers Festival are doing a great job in just getting stories, indigenous stories out. So I would advise people of my age to just start writing those indigenous stories. And I know there's many stories to be told, already transmitted from generations to generations. So they just have to write something and then have it sent over to First Nations. Where I'm from in Papua New Guinea, we have stories about like everything. Rivers, lakes, mountains, people, and all that. But it doesn't get written. Most of the writers over there are self-publishers. So I think with First Nation Writers Festival, like they don't have that sort of complications and all that. You just get your stories sent, and then they publish it. So if many people like find this as an opportunity to send their stories in, I believe it has the potential to grow and publish more stories like mine, like my friend Joshua from Solomon Islands. So it has the potential to grow, basically, from having this indigenous story being written. Yeah, my story about my grandfather. Basically, what he was one of those popular people back in his days, and yeah, he went to the plantations and worked, and then he moved out and helped the missionaries. So most of his life he spent doing things for other people, like working in plantations, helping the missionaries build aid posts, church, and all that. And people say that he probably did it for himself, or probably for his own ego, and then he didn't keep enough for his own family. But I think what he did was more heroic. That's how I see it, living his life for other people. So that's basically about my grandfather, and I hope, even though most of my family members do not agree with me saying that, I hope they see it in a way that it serves other people, and I think that's basically why or how humanity is supposed to be. That's what I think. So he lived an heroic life, and that's what I, think about being in the future. During those years, indigenous days, like during the colonialism, with the colonialism, the period itself, the situation itself, I think it wasn't really that easy to portray those sort of values and morals and all that. But I think my grandfather's stories is more about living for others. I think people have their own decisions, their own definitions of being a hero, but to live selflessly, to live for others and all that, and putting others before yourself is more of an heroic thing to do. Yeah, so I think I and my family could learn a lot from that. Yeah. So like I mentioned, I'm really hoping to get my book published. But after that, with the exposure that I have here with First Nation Writers Festival, with Anna, it's a really great network. So I believe I'll be writing more. Just like I said, we have stories that are still there, that are orally passed from generations. And I have heard many of those stories and they're still with me. So probably I'll be writing one of those stories, yeah. But with my profession, I just graduated from university. And then this year I'll be at LTI, which is intensive learning. So it may be not in the in the coming months, or it will not be really quick or really fast to have that sort of have my goals realized. But probably some years after, or 2 years or 3 years going on, but it is still an hobby, and like Anna has mentioned, I'll have to find a passion to write, and I have those stories out so that it can be published and for people to hear those stories.